then people make the argument that let's just say there's two people competing for leadership, right? One is clearly more worse than the other for the Muslimin.
Yeah.
So maybe based on that maslaha that you might have to like support the other one.
Okay, so my question is, you see, so my question is that comes from not really understanding the way democracy works. Now you see, if there is a situation where there's one guy and another guy, one's evil and one's less evil, then it makes sense to vote for the guy who's less evil. That's lesser of two evils. That's necessity. I can see how that argument can be made. But democracy doesn't work like that. Democracy is that there's these two guys, but they're not individuals that represent themselves. Rather, they represent all of the population. Because the way democracy works is that every single person, me, you, him, everyone has a right to make laws. But now obviously if me and you all made laws, there will be anarchy. And I'd pass a law that will go against you and you'd pass a law that will go against him, and you might infringe on his rights, and I could pass a law saying I'm going to steal whatever I want, and you could pass a law saying I'm going to kill whoever I want, and that will create problems. So the way democracy works, they say, look, we will elect a candidate from amongst us to represent us. We'll pass a vote for him, we'll pass a vote for her to legislate, to make laws, to do tashri' on my behalf. Already that's problematic because the default position when you pass that vote is that I'm a legislator. This every guy who goes and places a vote, he starts off with the affirmation that I am a hakim. Already Allah said, إِنِ الْحُكْمُ إِلَّا لِلَّهِ. Already Allah said, لَا يُشْرِكُ فِي حُكْمِهِ أَحَدًا. No one can do shirk with Allah when it comes to making laws. So already by that you've accepted that I'm a God. You've taken godly characteristics from Allah and you've passed it to someone to legislate on my behalf. Now why is that problematic? Because that individual is a representation of the majority. Now the majority, what did Allah say? وَإِن تُطِعْ أَكْثَرَ مَنْ فِي الْأَرْضِ يُضِلُّكَ عَنْ سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. Allah said, if you follow the majority of people on earth, they will misguide you. So the majority, Allah said, أَكْثَرُهُمْ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ أَكْثَرُهُمْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. The majority of them will not believe. The majority of them do not know. Very few from my slaves are actually grateful. So the minority are always good and the majority are always bad. So if democracy means that the guy who makes it at the end is the guy who had the majority, it can never be that he's going to do more good. He's always going to do more evil. Why? Because the majority always want evil. It's just that the evil came in a different form. This one, it came with a guy who's this way it came George Bush. How old are you? If you don't mind asking. Okay, so you lot may remember the whole Bush-Obama thing. I lived through it. We just had George Bush, who was basically saying that, and you're either with us or against us. Then you had Obama come. Obama was smiling. Everyone was like, Obama's different. You know what I'm saying? Obama killed more Muslims than Bush. Obama killed more. But the thing is, he done it with a smile. He done a smile. The issue is because Obama's not really in charge. Obama is not really in charge. He might actually be a better man than George Bush. He might. But the thing is, the decision's not down to him. That's not how democracy works. It's about the votes. I'll give you an example. So when they had that election with Theresa May and Jeremy Corbyn, and all the Muslims were saying, vote for Jeremy, vote for Jeremy, vote for Jeremy. Jeremy Corbyn must have had an interview where, there's that guy Jeremy Paxman, he grills you. So he must have said to him, listen, bro, you have your whole life campaigned for nuclear disarmament, meaning that you campaign for the view that you get rid of nuclear weapons. He said, in your manifesto, which is, he's running for prime minister now. He's trying to say, I'm going to run for government. I'm going to run for government. He's saying, in your book, in your manifesto, you don't have anything about nuclear disarmament. It's a cause you've had since the 1980s.
Exactly.
You believed in it. You fought for it. You went to war for it.
So contradicting your own beliefs.
But look what he said. He said the Labour Party didn't agree to put it in. So it shows you it's not down to him. Now let's just say he's a prime minister now, and everyone inside government votes for a bill against the Muslims. Jeremy Corbyn can't do nothing. He has to go through it. Does that make sense? So that's why for you to say democracy is voting for the lesser of two evils, it never is lesser of two evils. Because if, like I said, if it was you are a candidate, you are a candidate, and when you get into power, you have right to do whatever you want to do, and when you get into power, you have right to do whatever you want to do without any influences, then that's an argument that can apply. But it never works like that. He's just a face for everyone else. And everyone else is whatever they want, they'll get. If they want to go to war, I mean, look, Jeremy Corbyn can scream and shout what he wants in Parliament. I don't want to go to war. But all the MPs say, bro, we're going to war. He's got no choice. And that's how democracy works like that.
I noticed there's a Somali minister, I think, Congresswoman Ilhan. Have you heard of her?
Yeah, I know her. Ilhan, right?
Yeah, Ilhan. When she first died, she was Muslim, all this stuff. And and you slowly start seeing how like gay
just change,
LGBT,
gay rights.
all that
So
stuff, man,
that's
getting
another
worse.
that's another point I wanted to mention. So you know, for example, the Muslims who say don't vote for Trump, vote for Hillary, right?
Yeah.
They say don't vote for whoever, Boris Johnson, vote for Jeremy Corbyn, right? So whoever they're asking to vote, you have to understand, it's bad for you either way.
Yeah.
Donald Trump's going to pass laws against Muslims, Islamophobic laws. Same with Theresa May and Boris Johnson. They're going to make laws that are anti-Islam, right? As in, they're going to actually say, you know, we want to get rid of niqabs, we want to get rid of...
France,
They're going to be clear with their hatred. Jeremy Corbyn is also going to pass laws against Islam. But you know what he's going to do? He's going to come and say, you can't teach your kids that you can't be gay. These are laws. Like you can't, because remember, when you're liberal, there's a baggage that comes with being liberal, which is freedom of religion, freedom of gender, freedom of speech. So the people who are out there insulting the Prophet ﷺ, Jeremy Corbyn, his belief is that you're allowed. He's liberal. He's liberal. You can't have an issue with that. So it means when you pass the vote for Jeremy Corbyn, okay, you're passing a vote not to make anti-Islamophobic laws or Islamophobic laws, but you're also passing a vote saying it's okay to pass votes for gay marriage. It's okay to teach my kids to be transgender. It's okay to teach my kids to become Christian. And now that's why you have in school, like if a person, like you know, you can't teach your kid to be a Muslim. If they start thinking that you're forcing your kid to become Muslim, they'll take your kid away from you. So, okay, he's not passing laws against Islam from one perspective, but he's damaging Islam from a different perspective. So it's best to stay away from it, man. Yeah. Wallahu a'lam. Barakallah feek, man. Jazakallah khair, akhi. Keep doing your dua. Assalamu alaikum. I want to take you to the Day of Judgment. I want you to imagine yourself opening your book of deeds and getting disappointed as you scroll over the pages, realizing that there's not a lot here. In fact, as you turn over the pages, you see there's quite a bit of sin. And the good deeds don't really match up to what they should have. But suddenly as you turn over the pages, you start to see all of these good deeds, like memorizing Quran, seeking knowledge, praying the night prayer. But you're thinking to yourself, hold up, I never memorized the Quran. I didn't used to do all of these extra deeds, like pray the night prayer on a consistent basis. How is it in my book of deeds when I never personally did it? And then it becomes clear to you that this is in your book of deeds because there was a person who you helped to guide towards al-Islam. And when they came to Islam and changed their life, you now received all of the good that they did, even though you didn't personally do it yourself. As you know, الدال إلى الخير كفاعله. The one who guides someone to do good will have the reward of that good the way the person who did it, even if you yourself didn't do it. And this is why it's so important, brothers and sisters, for us to support people when it comes to helping change their life. Now, as you know, this is the work that me and my team are involved in. With the permission of Allah Azza wa Jal, we've been changing people's lives for the last few years. And we've got many projects from Madinah Masjid to Knowledge College. But the one project that we've seen that's changed people's life above and beyond anything else that we've seen with Allah's permission is our Umrah trips. We take people who are literally off the streets, involved in drugs, violence, just come out of prison, soon maybe possibly go into prison, all different backgrounds. We take them on these Umrah trips, and there Allah Azza wa Jal transforms their hearts, puts light inside of them, and they come back reformed men. An example of one such brother who we took, he actually came back, and within one space of a year, he took 70 people from his area, from the streets into the masjid. Some of them came onto Deen hard, some of them not as much as others, but he impacted his local community. And he himself has now gone on to seek knowledge, memorize Quran, learn the Arabic language, and he's actively involved in khair. Now this brother wasn't able to fund his whole package. He was funded for by someone generous, someone like you. And they probably had no idea that they were going to pay for this brother's ticket, that he was going to be impacted so much on the trip that when he came back, he was going to help get 70 people from his area into the masjid from the streets. Now imagine that person who gave money for that trip, what reward they're going to see on the Day of Judgment. And that's one. We've taken over 150 people in just over a year. And now this November, we're taking our biggest group yet, 60 plus people. And these are the brothers who are in most need. 17 of them were taken absolutely free, because they can't afford the trip themselves, either they don't have the money or their money is haram. But they want to change. Do you want the reward for them changing? If so, then go to the link below, because we have to fundraise for 10 of them in the next 7 days. We have to fundraise for 10 of them in the next 7 days. Someone's definitely going to give that money, inshallah, and take that reward. Is it going to be you? That's the question. And inshallah, you'll see that reward in the Day of Judgment. So I advise you, for the sake of Allah, go to the link below, say Bismillah, donate whatever you can. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.